What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for a quick video on letting you guys know how I built an extremely heavy duty shank tank protective case, whatever you want to call it. Basically protective enclosure for the square golf launch monitor, which in my opinion is darn near bulletproof, and it's about as secure as you can get. As you can see, I have my new and improved one over here. So originally, if you guys saw any of the first videos I was doing, I got some inspiration from a couple people out there. Shout out to Spike's Blue Collar Sim Golf. I know he's 3D printing one similar to these with a base, the alignment stand, and also Gary over at Golfy. He built one out of wood. So I kind of took what I saw out there from different videos, other Facebook posts, kind of took some inspiration from those people, and then kind of figured out what I originally had that I could use that would help protect the square. First and foremost, before we even get into it, I would highly recommend protecting your investment. The Square, although it is a budget launch monitor, it's an awesome value for the price. It is still $700. If they're a little bit cheaper now, I actually just did a video right before this telling you guys about a 10% off coupon with SimSpace Golf, so you can actually get it down for an all-in price, $40 cheaper than what I even paid. I bought mine at the Square Golf UK, but you can essentially now get it for an all-in price of $629.99, so $630. Either way, the point still stands. For $700, protect your investment. Shanks do happen. I personally haven't hit one, but I saw on a Facebook post someone that recently got a Square Golf launch monitor. One of their grandchildren came over, and literally the first shot that their grandchild took shanked it and cracked the glass on the front of the Square. So you don't want to be in that position. Protect your investment. These things are really cheap to do. But getting back into it originally, so I had this. I got this at Walmart. It was like $8-9. It had one of those lids that you put on, and it is airtight. So it worked good for what it was. It was all scratched up. It was literally the last one on the shelf, but it looked like the Square would go in it. So originally, if you saw my other videos, I had the Square in here. I would have to kind of put this in first, get the Square in it, kind of put this over, put it down on top, which wasn't the best by any means, but basically I had this on the ground. I had some duct tape on both sides here protecting it, so it was like this. So if a ball bounced off the screen, it wouldn't be able to get through these handles on the top and also on the side. So you see I put duct tape there. So originally I would have it over here like this. I know that's kind of out of frame, but it would be like that. I had the Square inside of it, and although it did work, it actually, the first time I was showing my parents the new launch monitor and the indoor setup, and the very first time they both each hit one shank off of there. So it kind of rattled this, it kind of moved this around. It didn't knock the Square over or anything, didn't do any damage, didn't even crack this or really leave a scuff mark. So that does work, but obviously not the most secure that you could possibly be. So if you're just getting the Square, I mean, I had this milk crate, it was all dirty from using it outside. I just had this around and I bought this at Walmart. You can do it for about 10 bucks if you have an extra milk crate around. You can build one out of wood. But basically I started off with this and then had the plan of building something more substantial. So if you can see over here on the ground, I'm planning on doing this video kind of off to the side and having a close-up picture, which you guys should be seeing on screen. But this is the new and improved one. So I bought a brand new milk crate. I have written down exactly what I bought and how much I spent for it. I got the milk crate at Home Depot, so there was like 500 of them on the shelf. You can just go find one there. You can buy them somewhere else online. They were a little bit more expensive on Amazon, I think probably because a little bit bigger in size, so the cost for shipping was probably a little bit more. But this is the new and improved one, so I'm going to take this off and get a little bit closer so you can see it. But again, there should be a detailed picture up on the screen. But this is just a really heavy, probably 30-40 pounds stone paver. These were just in the woods that I had left over. I actually have a bunch of these that are weighing down my backyard setup for the net. But I put this on top, and this thing, I mean, you would have to really kick it really hard for it to move. Yeah, you can nudge it a little bit, but this thing really weighs it down. The only thing that I don't love is if you hit a shank with this thing off to the side. I'll probably end up putting like a pool noodle just across from here, so if you hit a shank, it doesn't hit there and come back at you. But if you guys have any other ideas of how I can make this better and improve it, I'm all ears. But for me, I wanted something really heavy on top, close it off and secure it, weigh it down. So I mean, you can use whatever you want. Again, this is just a heavy 20, 30, 40 pound, whatever it is, maybe not 40 pounds, but 20, 30 pounds paver. Use whatever you want. Use wood. Put some bricks on top. But that just weighs it down. I'm going to get this out of the way. And getting into the kind of meat and potatoes of the actual protective shank tank here. So like I said, I got the milk crate at Home Depot. I have it written down over here. I paid $11.98 for the milk crate. It is what it is, pretty standard price. Like I said, they had a bunch of them at Home Depot. You can maybe find a cheaper one online if you look around, but I just wanted to get it, protect the square the best that I could. And then if you can see on the front, which again I'll get a little bit closer and you should be seeing a detailed picture, but that is a 12 by 12 clear acrylic plexiglass, 1/4 inch thick sheet, if you want to call it that. So basically, I ordered a 2-pack. I'll put the link down below in the pinned comment of the exact one I got. If you guys, I've already tested this thoroughly and it does work. The square reads right through it. So if you want to get the exact one and know that it's going to work and build out either something similar, take inspiration from this, whatever the case may be, by all means do that. But I got a 2-pack, so 12 inches by 12 inches, basically a foot by a foot, a 2-pack of the clear acrylic. I wanted to get 2 because if you guys see, maybe I'll get behind the camera. I have the lights on in here, so it should be a little bit easier to see. Basically, that's the front one there. Right clear. I put the square up next to it, inside of it, reads right through it, it works perfect. And then on the inside, I have the second one. So one, this is able to, if you can see that, it comes with, instead of the perfectly clear, when you get them from Amazon, at least these came with a protective like sleeve on the outside, just so in case it gets scratched or nicked up or whatever, you just peel that off. I left that on the bottom one, but one in case, thankfully, my dad helped me out with building this, but if we messed up this first piece, we had a second one that we could do. And also, if this ever gets cracked, then I have another one right there ready to go. But we ended up shaving down the corners a little bit on the inside of this one and put it down. So now the square sits perfectly flat and level on the inside of the milk crate. So there's one underneath there and one in the front. We shaved down those corners, and then what we did here is, again, same milk crate as that. We ended up cutting out this section to make a big, nice window, the biggest viewing area as possible for the square. We cut this out. We cut down the height of it because we slid this in. It was coming up a little bit more, so in order to be able to put that paver on there nice and flat, we cut that down. And then all we did was just drill some holes in it and put 4 bolts on either of the corners. And this thing is very, very solid. That's not going anywhere. I'm not going to personally try it out, but personally, I think I could almost put this over here and hit a full strength shot into it. I don't know about a driver, obviously it would bounce back. It may crack it, but I feel very, very comfortable of letting anyone use this. And actually, right now, right now, if I could talk, today is the day after Thanksgiving. It's Black Friday right now, and I had some younger family members over and some inexperienced golfers, and had this over here. We were using the square, and one of them actually hit a shank directly off this thing, and I don't even know where it hit. I don't know if it hit the plastic part, if it bounced off the acrylic sheet, but literally just ate the shot. So they towed it, shanked it, hit it off here. The thing didn't even budge. At this point, with the square in here, I feel extremely, extremely comfortable with using the square, letting inexperienced, younger friends and family use it, whatever the case may be. But like I mentioned, $11.98 for the milk crate, which I cut out the front. And then as far as the acrylic plexiglass goes, I got the 2-pack for $14.99. Who knows what prices on Amazon, but again, I'll put the direct link for the 2-pack that I bought if you want to buy the same exact one. But if I can get behind the camera, again, you guys should be seeing a close-up picture anyways, but if you can see, we used I didn't factor in, you may not even see that. There's 4 bolts. There's a bolt right there. There's a bolt up here. And then there's one over here and one down here. I didn't even factor that in because we just used extra hardware that was laying around. You literally need 4 bolts and 4 nuts, and that's about it. But we cut it out, left the top open. So now I have the square over here. What I do to set it up, usually it would be over here to the side, of course. But just for this sake, put it down. It's already flat here in the garage. I put the square right up next to it. I did notice when I was still using that other plastic container, sometimes if the container was too far out from the square, so like instead of having it, obviously you don't want it touching it, and I actually still, if you guys believe it or not, I still have the protective sleeve that comes on the case. If you can see this little tab up here, where you would usually pull that off, like a screen that you get. I actually left it on and it still works good. I figure if I'm going to scratch it or possibly drop it or whatever, don't plan on doing that, but if this ever got scratched, at least leave that on there and that thing will get scratched first, and it works, reads right through it. So when I was originally using that other plastic container, I did notice I was getting a couple like no reads and misreads. They would hear the ding and nothing would register. If you have the unit and with the plastic case too far away, I think there was a little bit of a glare and a reflection from the infrared lights, which I think were messing with the camera. So I try to snug it up really close, and all I do is just put this in here, probably about 1/4 of an inch, if that, away. Try to line it up close to the middle there. All I do is I put it in there, I turn it on, and again, you can use whatever you want to seal up the top. A cardboard box would probably be fine if you don't want to weigh it down, but all I do is just put it where I want it, put this thing on top right here, and that thing is good to go. And I thoroughly tested it. The square works great in there. Any kind of shanks aren't going to get through. I did put duct tape on all of the handles around just to seal that up because those are big enough to have a ball go through. But besides that, for a grand total of $26.97, this thing, like I said, is darn near bulletproof, and I feel really, really confident that the square is not going to get damaged either by me or anyone else. So I feel a lot more comfortable letting people swing. Whether they shank it off here, and again, this thing facing you would be over here. I'll probably just put a pool noodle. That's really the only possibility if it's shanked there and it would come back at you. I've had the ball bounce off the top here and it doesn't really do anything. So if it spins off the screen, goes high, it just bounces off of there. That's not really going to do anything, but a full strength shot with a shank could bounce off of here and come off. But besides that, very, very heavy duty, very, very robust, and very, very safe and secure. So there you have it for, like I said, a grand total of $26.97 for a heavy, heavy, heavy duty square golf launch monitor shank tank. You can do it yourself. Or if you take inspiration from this, maybe you take a couple parts of it, make your own. Curious to hear you guys down in the comments of if you built one yourself, if you're going to build one, if you're thinking about getting a square. Again, you can take advantage of that 10% off and get it for about $630, about $40 cheaper than what I even paid for it. But let me know what you think. If I can make this better, I'm open to suggestions, and if I can make this even more secure and robust, I'm all for it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Any comments, questions, concerns, let me know down below. And like always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.